Горит состав воздуха. Состав воздуха из подачи кислорода.
Oxygen is being sent into the cabin.
У нас нет параметров на ИП.
We don't have all of the parameters though.
Если падение. Давай попробуем, я переберу.
Let me try.
На кресло правом. Итак.
So
while we're getting communications from the crew, you also hear the intermittent beeping sound.
Good.
It's a beacon that is emanating from the Soyuz craft that search and recovery forces can use to pinpoint the exact touchdown location of the Soyuz vehicle.
Так, хорошо.
Steering. Format 1.
Right now the craft under main chute, continuing to slow its descent to that final rate of 7.2 meters per second. Once it's on the ground, search and recovery forces will begin to safe the vehicle and prepare to extract the crew. What exactly they'll be doing will depend on the vehicle orientation once it touches down, whether it lands upright or ends up on its side, both of which are planned for and considered nominal landings.
Okay, is everything fine? Is it good? Well, like
RSC Energia specialists will work to extract the crew while others inflate the medical tent about 100 yards away from the landing zone, so the crew can be carried out and over to the medical tent to be removed from their SOCO launch and entry suits. Once inside the medical tent, the crew will get their initial medical exam and get a chance to change before they're loaded into 3 of the all-terrain vehicles which are backed up to the tent in order to assist the crew one by one to be driven over to some of the awaiting helicopters. Once then, they'll board on and fly about 1 hour and 45 minutes back to Karaganda. But for now, descent continuing to look nominal, just about 5.5 minutes away from touchdown.
Alright, let's check. That's wonderful, thank you. Okay, we still don't have any data, but we do get the air composition information. See, there is nothing. 1, 2, 3 are not lit up. There is just nothing.
You can see some of the Russian search and recovery forces helicopters there in the background, currently reporting the Soyuz altitude at about 2,400 meters.
Everything's nominal. Alright. Copy all. Sounds great. Thank you. Unintelligible.
Soyuz craft continuing to descend and slow under the guidance of the main parachute. It's a little under 2.5 minutes now. All-terrain vehicles already on site for some time, standing by. Just 1 minute now from landing.
Хорошо. Утро.
Looks beautiful. It's morning here.
Перенесок готовы.
Copy. We are ready.
И буду ждать вашей команды на...
I'll be standing by for your command.
Есть мать?
Unintelligible. Just great. We're ready. We are ready.
Reported altitude right now for the craft 900 meters. Coming from the search and recovery forces, as you can see on scene, the Russian Mi-8 helicopters circling the landing zone in preparation. The ground in sight. We'll be able to inspect the vehicle, first checking its orientation, whether it landed upright or on its side. From there, they'll either build a extraction stand if the vehicle is upright in order to begin removing the crew, or if it's on its side, it'll be rolled over to open a side hatch installed inside of the vehicle. And the recovery forces reporting that the Soyuz did land vertically. You can see the first helicopters beginning to arrive on site. First helicopter delivering ROC Energia personnel who will prepare the vehicle for the extraction of the crew. Reports coming through that the very first helo is indeed on the ground. As the vehicle is upright, they'll have to construct a stand in order to access and begin extracting the crew. Soyuz Commander Roman. Here, a view inside of the Russian Mission Control Center. You can see written in Cyrillic there, yes, Posadka, the Russian words for they've landed, confirmed a successful landing for this crew. Soft landing engines firing just on time, landing the vehicle upright. Now we're standing by as the Russian recovery forces in concert with personnel from NASA and the Canadian Space Agency move in to begin extracting the crew from the Soyuz craft, landing almost on the dot there, just to the southeast of Zhezkazgan. Evening, Roman Romanenko, second-generation cosmonaut, has now completed 334 days in space, broken up across 2 expedition space flights, having spent 188 days back on Expedition 20 and 21. So again, all the search and recovery ground forces moving in on that Soyuz craft to begin setting up and removing the crew from the descent module. So we're continuing to stand by while the recovery forces move in on the Soyuz craft. And should allowing the hooks holding the Soyuz craft in place to the Rosviet module on the Earth-facing side of Zarya to retract and release, undocking and physical separation being confirmed at 6:08 p.m. Central Time, while the station and Soyuz flew just about 255 statute miles over eastern Mongolia. Just 3 minutes after separation, the separation burn, firing 2 rockets on the Soyuz craft, distancing it from the International Space Station, allowing it to eventually get about 12 kilometers or just about 7.5 miles away.